The purpose of life is much more important than possessions and property. Having more to live with is no substitute for having more to live for. The two greatest days of your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why you were born, Mark Twain. Why am I here? It is the old question, as old as time itself. Since man learned to speak and write, this has always been a question that has existed and will exist in humanity. A question that dwells deep in the hearts of every human being alive. Why am I here? And what is my purpose? Most of us may not yet know our purpose on earth. The average human being doesn't know why he's here. He wakes up every morning, heads off to a job he hates, works with people he doesn't like, all to get paid way less than he's worth. There are even people who die too young, out of frustration and disgust, because they don't know why they are here. Even with all that, the greatest tragedy of life is not death. There is something much worse than that, and that is, a life without purpose. Nothing is worse than being alive and not knowing why. It is a tragedy to live 80 years and not know why you were here. It is too devastating. Without a purpose, life has no meaning, no direction, no sense of precision. Why am I here? This question is responsible for most of the frustration of all humans. How can I say I'm successful if I don't know why I'm here? I can say that I am very busy and that I have many things to do, but I cannot say that I am successful if I am not doing what I was created for. Why am I here? The problem is that most of the time we ask ourselves this, but we are like a blind man asking another, which way we should go. They don't answer us and we don't answer, because everyone is trying to answer themselves, and the answer that is true for me, might not be true for you or for someone else. My purpose might not be yours and vice versa. So, to get the answer, we must go back to our manufacturer, because he is the only one who knows each one of us, and he knows things that even we ourselves do not know. Dr. Miles Monroe, who wrote several excellent books on destiny and purpose, stated, "I have pondered for years, and the greatest tragedy in life is not death. It is a life without purpose. It is not knowing why you are dead. Here, it is not understanding your destiny and why God made you. The great quest in life is to discover your purpose and fulfill it." King David wrote in Psalm 139 verse 13, God, you made all the delicate and internal parts of my body and united me in my mother's womb. Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your work is wonderful. I know you watched me as I was formed in total seclusion, as I was woven into the darkness of the womb. You saw me before I was born, and every day of my life was recorded in your book, every moment was put before I was born. God pondered his plans for you before there was a single day of your existence, and established your purpose before you were created in your mother's womb. Actually, they were recorded or written in his book, which of course should give confidence and hope to everyone, that God has a purpose for each and every one of us. The important thing is to find it. He has plans for me. I am not an accident. I am here for a reason. God has plans for me. Jeremiah 29 verse 11, God says, I know the plans I have for you. They are plans for good and not for calamity, to give you a future and hope. God's plan is perfect, complete and so well done from his perspective, but from man's point of view and understanding, the plan is progressively being carried out and will even be partially revealed. Jeremiah 29 verse 11 says, For I know full well the plans I have for you. The Lord affirms welfare plans and not calamity plans, in order to give them a future and hope. No human being on earth is a mistake, none of us is a mistake. We were sent here specifically to do something valuable. The greatest tragedy is not death but a life without purpose. It's not death, it's a life without purpose. It's getting to the end without the frustration of wondering what was all this? What was my purpose? Why did I go to earth? Absolutely everything has a purpose, everything. In fact, everything God ever created, he did for a purpose. He even had a purpose for everyone even before he existed. He had a purpose to create light before saying that it would be called light. He had a purpose for you even before you were created. Everything in life begins and ends with a purpose, which is why it is so important. Colossians 1 verse 16, "For by him all things were created, that are in heaven and that are on earth, visible and invisible, be thrones, be dominions, be principalities, be powers, everything was created through him and for him." It all started in him. He did not create you by accident. You are not a mistake or a mistake. You just came because your mother and father are two people who were together. You are here by divine appointment. Because God called you to fulfill your purpose. You are unique and you have your own plan. Your birthday is special because that is the day that God chose for you to come into this world. Before the creation of the world, before any existence, He already knew you. He called you by name and knew what your purposes would be. Do you think you have a purpose? Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1, "Everything has its time. Everything that God does will be perpetual. God will judge the righteous and the wicked." God created trees, animals, and people for a purpose, all with a purpose. Romans 8 verse 28, "Now we know that God works all things together for good for those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." God has a purpose for your life, and even when things go wrong, He is working for our good. People wonder, why am I here? And I really think we have two options, two worldviews. One of them is that we believe that we are the largest and most complex creation of God, and also that we were some cosmic stellar accident. I know that many would also like the first vision of this world. Since it gives a sense of value, meaning, will, and that it is based on the Almighty Creator. That not only created us, but has a purpose, a plan, and a vision for our lives. He knows what each and every human being is like. He knows us. He knows what we are capable of achieving. He knows what we are capable of building. He knows what we can handle, and He knows what we can have. He knows the path we must travel and if we are supposed to be here or maybe there. God is the teacher, and He put within us everything we need to succeed in what we were created to do. So we should not desire what is foreign to us, since that does not correspond to our interior. I design us as we are. If you feel that you need what others have, your life will be unbearable. If your life is too heavy, too fast and too painful, maybe you are living someone else's life. Because you will discover that you are perfectly designed to be yourself, and when you surrender to Him, He will show you how to be a better you. God has a unique purpose for everything, so don't follow in the footsteps of someone else's purpose. I'll tell you again, don't follow in the footsteps of someone else's purpose. You are endowed with talents and abilities that only you possess, and when you discover what that gift is that will help guide you in the direction of your purpose, you will find your way. Peter 4:10, "Each one put to the service of others the gift that he has received, administered faithfully by the grace of God in its various forms." We all have exceptional talents and abilities. We have the responsibility to develop them. Sometimes we think that we do not have many talents or that other people have been benefited with more abilities than we possess. Sometimes we do not use our abilities for fear of failure or because others may criticize us. Despite this, we must not hide our talents. We must use them so that others can see our good deeds. There are several things we can do to develop and enhance our talents. First, we must discover them and make an evaluation of ourselves to know what our aptitudes and abilities are. Our family and friends can help us in that regard. Second, we must be prepared and aware that we are going to dedicate time and effort to develop that talent that we wish to acquire. Third, have faith in yourself, have faith in God, He will help us. Fourth, we must learn and obtain the necessary skills to develop our talents. We can do this by taking a class, asking a friend to teach us, or reading books about it. Fifth, put your talents into practice. All talent requires effort and work, and mastering it requires dedication. Sixth, let's share our talents with others. These improve when we put them into practice. At this point, despite what you just heard, you may be wondering, can we develop our talents despite our weaknesses? The answer is yes. He has called you not to let failure stop you, not to let your own limitations stop you, not to let your lack of education or experience diminish that opportunity to excel as he wants. Simply move in the direction of your destination, one step at a time. Some great athletes have had to overcome disabilities before they succeed in developing their talents. Shelley Mann was one such example. When she was 5 years old, she unfortunately had polio. Her parents would take her to a swimming pool every day in the hope that the water would help her hold her arms up while she tried to use them again. When she finally managed to lift an arm out of the water by herself, she wept with joy. Then his goal was to swim the width of the pool, then the length, and then the length several times in a row. He kept trying, swimming, trying harder and harder, day after day until he finally won an Olympic gold medal in the butterfly stroke. One of the most difficult strokes in swimming. If you want to know God's will for your life, then love Him with all your mind, soul and heart. If you liked this video, give it a like and share the link with your friends and contacts so that they can also find calm and discover what its purpose is. If you have not yet subscribed to our channel, do it now and activate the notifications so that you are up to date with our latest videos. Thank you and see you soon.